Grand Rising. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am out here walking, getting my exercise on. Why? Because I need to. And we got to keep this body in shape. The pounds are going down. Yay! And because the pounds are going down, yes, I can't give up. I got to keep doing this. But anyway, I just wanted to come up here for a short moment to talk to you all about the economy and what's going on. You know, you have people that are had jobs, losing their jobs. You have people that were, COVID came in and, or the cocoa, or whatever you want to call it, all of that stuff came in. And so, people were losing their jobs because they were getting sick, couldn't go to work. Prior to that, we had the stimulus, where we were getting stimulus, and we had the unemployment, with the unemployment, so many people on unemployment and getting paid and getting money. And yes, you worked as, when you work, your unemployment is like an insurance, that you cash in on that policy because you're not working. So that's unemployment insurance. That's basically what it is. And so much unemployment insurance had to be paid out. And then they gave stimulus checks, and, people got stimulus because they had kids. People got stimulus because they was just people. And so, all of this money, they told us, oh, it's free. Don't worry about it, for the unemployment. They said, at the last moment, oh, we're gonna recoup this money. And so, when it came time to file taxes, they were saying, well, we changed our minds. We're not gonna get this money. That's unemployment. We can't help what happened with COVID. So for those that paid into their unemployment, like I did, they gave you a refund. Only federal, state didn't give your money back. I'm just saying. But anyway, you got your refund back for your unemployment. And then not only that, so it didn't come off your taxes, but, this past year, the different things that we've been getting that they so-called call free came off our taxes. And we know prices have gone up. The gas has gone up, unemployment is still high, even though they said it's coming down. It's still high. People have lost their jobs. A lot of plants have closed down, and not just closed down, they caught on fire, and all kinds of crazy stuff was happening. They just burnt down, you know what I mean? And you had all those things happening, and then just the other day we heard about 3,000 cows flipped over dead. Sorry, we got to move this. About 3,000 cows flipped over dead. And everybody's like, well, what happened that the cows died? Did they ain't give them enough water? Y'all got to remember, this is all a plan. I know they call it a pandemic, but it's a planned demic. Okay, so you gotta keep that in mind. Don't forget that it's a plan. And but anyway, I had a young lady. I was listening to a young lady last night. She was explaining online. She said, "Here's what's going on." She says, "I need y'all to think like." She didn't say a shyster, but she says, "Think like a criminal, not really a criminal, but think like a person that's always trying to get over." Okay. She says, y'all got to think like that, because that's what America is. It's always getting over, and it's always got some sort of hustle going. And when you think you figured out the hustle, they already 3 steps ahead of you on that hustle that's going on. So, and I said, that's true, because when the pandemic came out, they said, oh, well, we can come up with a vaccine. Y'all got 3 months. 3 months. Really? It normally takes about, 5 years? 5 years, and then 10 years, another 5 years for the trials, for them to come out with a vaccine. And then, of course, this vaccine does not, like other vaccines, the MMR, like measles, mumps, rubella. When you get that, you don't get the measles, you don't get the mumps, nor do you get the rubella, okay? Polio, you don't get those things, okay? Well, this vaccine is not like those vaccines, all right? It's totally different. So they've changed the name, changed the meaning of what a vaccine means. A vaccine don't mean what it meant years ago when they gave us the vaccines, that prevented us from getting these illnesses. It now means you can still get that illness we just gonna make it a little lesser on you. Well, is it a really little lesser when it actually goes in and causes damage to your organ systems? And yeah, some people say, oh, I had and I made out, I did good, you know. But then again, you know, if you're already predisposed to diabetes, heart disease, lung issues, you know, you don't realize, but it's attacking you while you think you're getting better. It's still attacking, okay? And then, you know, in them creating that vaccine, they said that within 2 years, you know, it's estimated that, you know, folk will be dead, you know, after having received it. Because why? You got underlying health issues. And this is what this thing does. It goes after those underlying health issues and attacks them. So, and if it's attacking them, and it don't attack them to kill them, it attack them to kind of make them speed up and do what they do. And so it's not killing them, it's going to kill you. And so, but anyway, enough of that. And so she was explaining that when you have the problems that are going on now with the economy, you know, gas is going higher. Gas has gone higher. And not only is gas going higher, you know, but you have food shortages. So in other words, everything that they tell you is free, it's not free. You're going to pay for it somewhere or another. And if you look at it, all of the different groups of democracy, you know, the Democrats and the Republicans, they're one of their things is always, you know, we're going to tax the rich. We're going to raise the taxes on the rich. Well, you know, when you look at a what do you call it? A depression type of thing, or, you know, inflation, the rich get richer. They don't get poor. They get richer. What happens is you get poor because you're not rich. And then you don't have these companies, not only these companies, but to be able to survive. But not only that, but this big money invested in different places. You don't have this as the little man. You have to use your money. So yeah, they said they're going to raise the taxes on the rich. But here's the key. Your property tax go up. Your insurance go up. Your food go up. Gas has really gone up. You know, and so this happens, and because this happened, they say they're taxing the rich, but they're getting the money out of the poor. Why? Because you've got to pay these taxes. So yeah, you might have some money saved up, but you got to look at it like this. It's going to cost you more to live. And because it costs you more to live, you're going to have to take this little money that you've saved and put away. You're going to have to take it and use it. So if you used to be able to go to the store and get a loaf of bread, some butter, and some milk, bread, butter, some beans or whatever, and it costs you, say about $5. Now you go to the store and you get it, and that stuff is $30. So, you know, and you paying higher tax on it. You paying more money for it. Number one, the rich are making their money off of their product that they're selling. Number two, you paying a higher tax because of the amount that you spent. And number three, it's taken away from the little money that you saved, you know, and had put in your pocket or in your bank or whatever. And then, you know, also you got to look at it like this. You know, you may be trying to save more in the bank, and you're saving more in the bank. You maybe, not everybody, and you're saving more, but here's the key. You've got to go and hit that account and pull out more than you used to have to do it, because, you know, things are going up higher. And then you got to look at these banks. You know, you can put $1,000 in the bank, let it sit for a month. When that quarter comes around, you only gonna get about 6 cents. You're not even gonna make a dime on that $1,000. You're not gonna make a dime on it. You're not. You know, I was looking at, you know, doing some figuring, and if you had 26,000 in the bank, when that quarter comes around, you're only getting $2. That don't make sense. You got 26,000. They're using your money, but you only get $2. So you know, wake up, pay attention, you know, take a look at what's going on around here. And then not only that, okay, we got to turn because the sun. Okay. Anyway, not only that, like I said, you got $2. You know, take a look at your bank statement the next time you get it, you know, and look at what you get each quarter. When you get that money, it's 2 cents, 2 pennies, 2 freaking pennies, not 2 pennies. You may be lucky if you get 4 pennies, okay? But you got your money in it. They're using it. They're loaning it out to other people, charging them a high interest rate, paying it back. But they only give you 2 cents for being able to use your money, okay? And then, of course, a new thing, I wish it ain't that new, but you put your money in the bank, but because you don't, every 6 months or so many times during a year, you don't either A, make a deposit, B, pay a bill, or C, do a transaction of some sort. Because you don't do that, they now charge you $35. Some banks, some charge less. They now deduct $35 from your account for inactivity. And you're like, well, I put the money in there to save it. Why are you charging me to save my money? Because they want you to do something. In other words, they really want you to add more money to it. The more money you add, the more they got to work with to be able to, you know, give these loans out, you know, to those that, you know, rich, give them big loans. Because they're not giving out, it ain't the little teeny loans. They make money off of that too. But, you know, when you borrow large amounts, you know, they make good profit back off of that. All right. So not only that, you're looking at, and I know I'm just kind of going on, I'm sorry, but this information was, you know, I was like, well, Lord, should I share this, you know, because I'm not a big YouTuber. No, I'm not. I'm just little me. But maybe the little P, you know, and what I got was, you know, the little small amount of people that watch you may not listen to the people, you know, you follow. They may not be aware or pay attention to the inflation as far as, you know, how to make your money grow and, you know, where you can put your money at and investments. They may not be into that, and you are. So share it with the people. So that's why I'm sharing it with y'all. So anyway, so back to the story. You know, it's hot out here. It ain't too hot, but it's nice. Anyway, so the young lady was explaining. She says, you know, when inflation happens, you know, they say they're gonna, these different parties say they're going to pass it on to the rich. That's part of their, you know, part of their way to get your vote to be able to get in the office. You know, they say, oh, we're going to tax the rich. So people are like, yay, they're going to tax the rich, not us. And so then, you know, they also run on, oh, we got to get more jobs back in here. You know, so you're excited about the jobs and I'm voting for them because, you know, they're going to bring back jobs. You know, they're going to tax the rich, you know, and they're going to do things that are going to help me. And then they say, you know, for the Democrats, you know, the Democrats always say, oh, well, we're going to give, you know, we're going to come up with new programs. And these programs are going to be able to give you money for free. And you're not going to be able to have to pay for it or pay it back. You know, you're just taking, sorry, the light, sun. Anyway, it's like, we're going to give you this money for free. And when we give you this money for free, we're going to give you all these grants and stuff like that. And you can be able to, you know, buy and purchase, get what you need. Well, here's the key. Yeah, you'll be able to buy and purchase, get what you need. But they're going to hit you on it. That money ain't free. They're going to get that money back. All that money they gave out, stimulus, oh, they're getting that money back. How are they getting it back? Through your taxes. Everything going up on taxes. Everything. So they're getting that money back. And then, you know, it's more money coming out of your pocket, more money going into their pocket. And yes, you said, well, they ought to just print some more money. Yeah, they could print some more money. But I would suggest you all, and I'm sure pretty much everybody has played the game of Monopoly. Monopoly is not a game to just play. Monopoly is a teaching. I don't know if it's called capitalism or what. But Monopoly is a teaching. When you play Monopoly, it's not for you just to play it and say, oh, I won. You know, you got to remember, even when you play Monopoly, I remember when I used to play, you know, my sister, that chick would buy up everything. Houses, land, property. Every time you land on something, she holler, ah, that's my property. Get my money. You owe me $6, $4. Get my money. I got apartments on that property. Get my money. So my sister actually understood the game of Monopoly. She may not have carried it out in her life, her daily life, but she understood. You buy up all the property, put all the houses you can on it, or apartments. Buy up all the shopping districts and rent it out. Every time somebody land on that property, they owe you money. So you making money, okay? And then see, and I was wondering about the, get $200 pass go. Pass go get $200. And I was like, is that the free money? Could that be the free money? We like, ooh, I just got to get around all the way around the board to get to go. Because when I get to go, I'm going to get $200. Yeah, you might get $200 when you pass go. But trust me, when you land on somebody's boardwalk, when you land on the railroad, when you land on, Tennessee something, and when you land on those places, you got to pay taxes. Or you got to pay rent. You paying one of them players sitting there with you. You paying them some money. So that little $200 you just got, gone out of your hand. So, Monopoly is something that, which way am I going to go with the sun? I got to put my sunvisor on, y'all, because the sun is really out here. So, hold on just a moment. Whew. Okay. All right, we got to do this. So, anyway, you playing Monopoly, and you thinking it's just a game. Of course, there's always somebody get mad because they ain't got no money at the end. Why? That's a little regular man. That's a normal man. That's a little person going out working every day, whatever. They trying to hold on to their money, but every time they look, they got to pay their money out. Well, that's what's going on now. Think about it. Every time you look, you got to pay some money out. Here in, Here in North Carolina, they have, and I don't know if they're doing it another place. Sorry, y'all. That bug was, here in North Carolina, when you pay your light bill, there is an extra $14 charge on your bill that says, and it says right beside it, this is not an administrative charge. So you're like, well, it's not administrative. What is it? And they said it's a charge that we put on everybody's bill. And you go, well, I wasn't trying to pay into paying somebody else's bill because, they got the little part. You want to pay extra so you can, help somebody that's less fortunate pay their bill. I'm like, well, it ain't that. When you call in, they say it's not that, but it's a charge. And you say, well, what's it for? It's a charge that they put up there. Well, you got to remember, when COVID hit, and I know it's still here, when COVID hit, people lost their jobs. They weren't able to pay their bills. And remember, they said from the first president, Trump said, you don't have to worry about, losing. You're not going to get thrown out of your apartment or your house, and you won't, your lights and stuff won't get turned off. We're going to talk to these companies so they don't turn off your stuff or evict you. So people are like, woo, okay, cool. So for those that didn't have a job and didn't have no way of getting money and didn't have any extra money, that helped. That was a big help. For those that lost their job, had some money and whatever, when the free money came in, the stimulus, people didn't do with that money what they should have done. What they did was, because, they said, oh, well, shucks, a lot of businesses are suffering and, stores are going out of businesses. So you have these stores and things. When that stimulus money come out, the stores started having sales. Tennis shoes went on sale. Designer stuff went on sale. Everybody started having a sale. Why? They was recouping that money. In other words, you thought, oh, well, I got the stimulus money. I'm going out and get that purse that I wanted. Oh, I'm going to get those tennis shoes. Oh, we going to, now, I'm going to tell you, I went to Las Vegas during COVID. I paid for it out of my pocket because I was still working, okay? It wasn't no stimulus money that paid for it. I paid for it out of my pocket, all right? And so, I saw so many people there, which, you expect to see people there. But when you see people and they got 4, 5, 6 head of kids, and they in Las Vegas, they spending all kind of money. You like, where do people get their money from? I'm still working every day to try and be able to pay my bills, and I took a little vacation. Where do these people get all this money from? And I mean 4, 5, 6 head of kids. And I'm gonna be honest, they weren't all black people. They were black, they were white, they were Latinos. You saw some Asians out there, not a lot, but you saw the Latinos. You saw black, you saw white. 4, 5 head of kid, 3 dogs. How you got dogs up in the hotel? But they allowed you. I didn't know it. So, but anyway, you had, and they were spending all kinds of money. I mean, they were just spending money. And I was like, where they get the money from? Well, stimulus. If you told you don't have to pay your rent, they're not going to throw you out. You ain't got to pay your light bill, they're not going to throw you out. And you get a free check, unemployment, stimulus, you got money. So the people did what they wanted to with the money. And not everybody. Some people were very smart and sensible about the money. But for the most part, a lot were not. So anyway, we got to switch. So in other words, you paid the money back. You paid it back by giving it to the retail people. You gave it back to the retailers. And that was how you gave the money back. Of course, you pay taxes on that, because the purchases have taxes. And so anyway, people spent the money like that because they're like, I don't have to pay these bills. But here's the key. What we didn't know was Duke Energy was going to add a $14 tax on $14 fee on everybody's bill. And you have to pay that fee. There's no disputing that fee. You can't leave that fee out. You're going to pay that fee. You can send them your bill less that fee if you want to. They're going to cover that fee, and then they're going to say your bill was short. You owe us some more money. So, there are ways that they're getting this money back. So the rich is getting richer. And the poor, well, they already poor. But your middle class folk in the middle, you getting caught. So, but anyway, going on back to the young lady, she was saying that, when you have these things going on, you have the different parties that are telling you they're going to do this, that, and the other. So you go out and vote for them. You put them in the office, and they do exactly what they told you they weren't going to do. That's what they do. They don't do what they told you they were going to do. They do what they told you they weren't going to do. And again, the rich get richer and everybody else gets poorer. So, one thing you can do, buy land. That is buy land. Buy land, invest your money. There are people that say, I don't want to be a landlord, but if you have the ability, you have some property, a home that you can rent out, don't sell it. And yes, they're giving you, and there's another trick, they're giving you big money for these homes. And people are selling their homes. They're getting big money for the homes. Well, what they don't realize when they sign these contracts, they get notice that they got to be out of their house in about a week. That's fast. You sign a contract, and then about a week later, you got to be out of your house because they got a buyer for your home. Do they really have a buyer? Or are they going to use your home to keep renting it to people at a high price? If you look around your neighborhood, I look around the neighborhood I'm in, there are a lot of homes with nobody in them. These homes are going for rent. They've been brought. They're not being sold. There's not a for sale sign. If you see a sign, it might say for lease, for rent. That's it. And a lot of times you're not even seeing a sign in the yard. Everything is digital, goes online. So what you see is online, this property is for rent. People come, they stay a while, they gone. Why? Because they're charging a large price for this rent, a high price. And then when it comes time to renew, they want even more for this rent. So these corporations are making big money on that. They're investors, they call them investors. And these investors, you constantly turning a profit when you renting all these places out, because they're not renting them for cheap, first of all. And so, that's another way that they're doing it. So if you have property, I think about my mother's home. We ended up having to sell the land. The home wasn't worth anything, but we ended up having to sell the land because of a family issue that was going on. And so rather than lose the house, we figured we lose the house and the land. We figured we'd just sell it. So that's what we did. But I was thinking back, and I said, Lord, what would that land be worth today in this housing market? What would that land be worth? How much more would we have gotten had we just tore down a house and kept the land? How much more? But, this day and time, people live different places. And nobody want to be responsible for, I got to go cut the grass. I got to go cut the trees on that property. Because people normally don't, you grow up, you move out. You necessarily don't move right next door to your mama, you move out. You might even move to the next city. You might move cities away or even the next state, So, yeah, if you got property, keep it. Keep it. Sell it. A friend of mine has property. I won't say where. And she bought the property for a reasonable price. Very reasonable price. Well, because of what's going on in the housing market, that property has skyrocketed to more than 20 times the price that she paid for it. And folks can't figure out how she got it because this property is worth a lot, okay? And so folks are constantly saying, she's constantly getting, we'll go back over here, tagged where they're saying, you want to sell your property? You want to sell your property? You want to sell your property? And so she's constantly being tagged for that, getting hits on her phone saying, you want to sell your property. Because the land is worth quite a bit of money right now. And but she made the statement. She says, if I don't get a house built on this land, I will go out. Good morning. If I don't get a house built out on this land, I will go out and purchase an RV and park my RV on my land. And I understand what she's saying, because of what's going on. What's going on now. And, people are playing games. Builders are playing games. I don't know if y'all know, but I went to look at a house to see how much, a new neighborhood that they were building, to see how much it was. The lady explained. She says, well, I said, you haven't said anything about the prices of these homes. What did they start out at? And I was in the basic home. It was a 3-bedroom, had an office, which you could make it a 4-bedroom. 3-bedroom, had an office, living room, dining room, eating kitchen, master bed, bath, and another full bath. And I was asking the lady, I said, well, you haven't told me how much the prices are. What do the prices start at for this home? And so, she said, well, the prices start at $300,000. I said, oh, okay. And so she said, what you do is, I said, so what do you do to apply? She said, well, what you do is you go online and apply, let us know that you want a home. She said, the home that you pick, because we have 5 different plans. So, of course, based on the plan, the price goes, gets a little higher. And she said, but this is the basic one. So what you do is go online. She said, because, a lot of people looking for homes right now. So start at $300,000. So when you go online and you put in your bid, it's going to be $300,000, but $300,000. It's going to be $300,000. But to kind of guarantee, to make sure that you get the home, that your contract is selected, because maybe several contracts that come in on that one particular house. She said, what you want to do is you want to bid over that $300,000. So, some people have bid $20,000 over the $300,000, $25,000 over the 300. You know, some people even bid, you know, 50,000 over the $300. They throw the bid in. And so what we do is we look at all the contracts coming up for that particular house that we're going to build on that piece of land. And we take the one with the highest bid. It's like, oh, really? You know, you got to play along with it. You can't go, lady, you done lost your mind. You can't do that, though, even though you want to do it. So, but anyway, I'm thinking, hold up. The sale price on your house is $300,000. But you want me to throw in another 20, 10, 20, 30, 50, 75, whatever. You want me to throw in more money to guarantee that I get the house, because I got to beat out 10 other people, 5 other people, 2 other people. And if nobody decides they want that property but you don't overbid, you don't outbid yourself, because their house was only going for $300,000. And if you say, I'm willing to pay $350,000, and nobody looking at that property but you don't gave them $50,000 extra for free, for nothing. Yeah, that's what you just did. And I looked at it, I said, Lord, these people have really bumped their head. And so I said, oh, well, thank you very much. I got all your information. You know, I will, take this home and look over it. And got your email, so if I need you, I'll go ahead and email you. Okay? All right. Got your phone number. Thank you. Pew! I was gone. You know, because that was just ridiculous. That just didn't make sense, you know, to me, you know. And that was a whole neighborhood, brand spanking new neighborhood that was being built. And so, again, there you got to think like Monopoly. You got to think like a crook to be able to get ahead and stay ahead. Not saying you got to be a crook, but you got to be able to think like that. For somebody that likes to hustle, you know, the person that's always hustling on the street, they got a line for everything. They got a line or a story to tell you, or a story to sell you to get what it is that they need. So you got to think like that, but think in a positive way, not a negative way, not to screw people over. You know, I'm not telling you to do that, you know, even though that's what businesses do. Doesn't mean you have to stoop and do it that way, but you got to figure out ways to make your money grow. If there's something you do, start your business. And I know I'm what do they call it? The kettle calling the pot black, or the pot calling the kettle black. Yeah. You know, there's something that I do. I sell hair grease that makes your hair grow. You got hair loss, use my hair grease, it makes your hair grow. You know, and I do sell it. So I just need to sell it on a larger scale to be able to bring in that, what do you call it, passive income. In other words, that's an investment. That's making my money grow, you know. And I have to do that. You know, it takes time. You got to sit down and do that, but you got to make up in your mind that you want to do it. You know, there are other ways you can do to make your money grow. You can invest in the stock market. Everything is down low right now. Yeah, you got people like, for instance, I heard yesterday, they said, oh, Warren Buffett is revamping the way he does things. And, you know, so some people are going to get laid off. And as far as like Geico, because he's over Geico. As far as Geico, you know, they're doing some trimming and changing it. They've dropped the military contract in Virginia, but they're revamping it, you know. And, or they've dropped the military contract, period, I guess, something, I don't know. And they're revamping it, is what they're saying. But, you know, you got to realize, people like Warren Buffett, they got millions of dollars in the stock market. Billions of dollars in the stock market. They might put out a news clip that says, Warren Buffett sold $50,000 worth of shares and such and $3 million worth of share and whatever. He sold 3 million shares. Y'all don't realize he ain't sell all his shares. He only sold 3 million. He probably had 2 billion. So if he only sold 3 million, he just cashed a little bit of it out. Cashed a little bit of it out. The stock price go down because people seem to be pulling out their money because he pulled out his money. The little man pulling out his money. Well, they don't realize what Warren's doing. He pulls out some of it. Stock market drops because it starts dropping. Little people start jumping out. Prices drop even farther. So that which he normally paid $20 for one share, he now getting it for $5 a share. So when he pulled out that 3 million, he probably brought in that 3 million at $2. Made 3 million. Well, made billions. Pull out 3 million. Then when that price drops again down to say $5, you know, because everybody done jumped out because he pulled out some of his money. He jumps back in and buy $5 a share. Again, profit goes back up. So he makes money. The little man doesn't. So you got to watch things. You got to pay attention to what's going on. You know, they don't tell you the game. But if you watch them, morning, if you watch them